Yeah, and talking about the students, I want to transition slightly to the student question that actually had impacted all his life looking for a place like this, right? So Juan mentioned he has two questions we can answer whichever both, right? He said, I'm not exactly what is the number of the students that started jiu-jitsu, but the ones that actually completed, how did the students actually finish it? So what do you think is the most difficult aspect in retaining the student, or is it mostly just based on the student's dedication? So is it more about the program? Is it more on the student? Is it both? So what do you think it will be the answer to that? In your
Well,
experience, like having now both, right? You have
yeah,
the competition sports side, you have this one now.
I did what most of gyms do for many years before I merged towards Grace University. And I don't think it's not even about what we do. It's about what you should never do to a new student. And the main things are a new student should never spar, should never have a sparring experience because they don't know how to spar. And that takes at least 8 months to a year.
So like the first class don't spar.
First
Like
5 months,
yeah.
6 months, 8 months should not have spar. It's like you're throwing somebody in the ocean without they know how to swim. You're gonna sink and you're gonna be in a very discomfortable position.
And how was the experience when you see the student sparring and you saw that like for your whole
Yeah,
life?
yeah. It's
And
just
even your experience like in the first class,
just
you were eager
it's just accident waiting to happen. You know, it's not pleasant to anybody, and it's just accidents that's gonna
So
happen.
for what? For 10 years, you
It's
saw
not just
people wipe it like
it's
10
not
years.
just that a beginner gonna hurt another beginner. A beginner gonna hurt everybody. Gonna hurt more experienced student too. So this is one thing for sure. Okay. Second thing is focus on self-defense. Every student that starts jiu-jitsu, on my belief and on my experience, like what my gym look like today and what my gym used to like 8 years ago, when I don't care about these topics, I'm bringing it up for you guys. Okay, it's just day and night. It's totally different. You know, the students should learn self-defense because that's what they're gonna use if they have to stop jiu-jitsu in 1 year. Okay, keep them away from this competition aspect in the beginning, and then after, whatever the student wants to do after he learned the foundation of jiu-jitsu, focus on self-defense. That's okay. If you want to go compete when he's like near the blue belt, you know, I think white belt should not even compete in tournaments. You know, it should be like blue belt and over. You know, after when your students a blue belt and they have a good foundation about jiu-jitsu, how that works, if they want to go and compete and challenge themselves, it's okay. I support them to do that if they want to do it. Very few do though, because they get enough of what we have there. The program is so detailed and so organized, and we make sure that every phase of the program is fun for the students. And we really believe that there's no bad students. There's bad teachers, but no bad students.
So it will be so that the answer to the question from Juan will be more the program is the main thing that helps out to be able to the student to be there. Of course, the dedication helps out of what? It's 50-50. 50-50 in the sense of like if the student is not as dedicated, they're not going to finish it.
Yeah.
But the program is there, the student has a higher chance to be able to finish
it. Way higher chance. Like let's say 10 times higher than any student that's going to go to other gyms that don't follow this kind of structure that unfortunately very, very few do. Very, very few gyms follow this kind of standard. And I look at the demographics of the class I teach today and the class that I used to teach before. It's a totally different demographic. Totally different. I used to have a young group of killers that was incredible in jiu-jitsu and do well in tournaments and very, very talented performance in the mats. And now I have a bunch of professionals that want to learn jiu-jitsu to protect their families, and I have people with severe difficult to do things, you know, and coordination and understanding. But they're there for years. They've been there for years, training jiu-jitsu and embracing, you know. So these are the people that they're not going to survive any other gym. And then I also have a pack of killers there that's, you know, we all merge together. But the mindset of the pack of killers that we have today, they understand that this other side exists, and they are not using the frail to improve themselves regardless what the frail are going to do. You know, they are there to protect them. We require the advanced students to come to the reflex, to the beginner classes, so they'll always help each other and teach each other. And, it's just amazing.
Basically, to say like the sport one was like almost like 90% more younger guys trying to go and everything, like 20-year-old, 30-year-old, and then the other side is more a little bit older with family, professionals already, so 90% on the other side. So the fans is like slightly more oriented to people like that, and 10% is like a little more oriented.
Yeah. And then the Women in Power program too, that we have a specific program for self-defense for women, makes a huge difference. This is something is another thing that's it's not done out there in the other gyms, you know, in the other academies. It's like we have the co-ed class, the combative is co-ed, and there is males and females in the same class. But then we have a separate group where the program is designed for a scenario where a predator looking for somebody. Okay, Jiu-Jitsu have many different aspects. You know, there is the Jiu-Jitsu competition that you see Jiu-Jitsu one way. There's the combatives, there is the kids, there is the police enforcement. Now there is the medical professionals. You know, every environment have a different kind of threat. So we don't do like one mixed thing that's gonna help you everywhere. We split in different groups so we can like really focus on what that community need to become better. You know, so it's just amazing, man, to see the results, and I couldn't be happier myself being like able to train everybody and don't have this responsibility of submitting everybody in the mats to earn the respect of our students. The students, they respect the program, they respect the service that we offer, and I think that's very, very good, you know. And if anybody from the gym come to me one day like, hey, I would like to experience another kind of training, they're always welcome to go and come back if they come after. You know, I really have no problem with a student that go train somewhere else or maybe compete and train in another gym for a while and see how Jiu-Jitsu is out there. And if they want to come back, no big deal about it. They can come back. They know what we sell. They know how we do things. And I think Jiu-Jitsu today is like a product. You're going to eat the food in the restaurant where you like the staff, you like the taste of the food, you know the kitchen is clean, and you can choose to go there. And the guy and the person from the other restaurant, they will not be upset with you because you are eating next door. You know, they are eating there because that food is more tasty for them, and that's how Jiu-Jitsu should be. You know, if the Jiu-Jitsu students are here is not what they're looking for, they're always welcome to go and train somewhere else, and the door is always open. And I think that's avoid a lot of dramas, avoid a lot of misconceptions of Jiu-Jitsu how it used to be. You know, before I understand how the Gracie family used to be creating this possession over the students, because there is not much people doing it, and it was something new. But today there is all kinds of Jiu-Jitsu, and you know, everybody gonna fit different in every environment.
And then for the last question that he had, that I think is very valid for a lot of people that are watching now, is what is a common injury that happened in Jiu-Jitsu that we can prevent, right? And I was reading an article to add to that question that very common is neck, shoulder, and back. Do you agree with it?
Yeah, I think I don't agree with it. I don't think these are the three injuries that happen.
Very common in Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah, I don't think that.
What do you think?
No, I think that it's a mix. It's a mix. There's no one specific that happened. One that happened with a lot of students, it's a ribs injury. You know, when somebody lay on you here, at the same time when you turn, somebody put pressure on you here, and then your ribs, they dislocate and hurts the cartilage in between the ribs. And hurts a lot, and there's nothing you can do apart from rest a couple of weeks to heal. And that's something that happens a lot because you do a lot of turning here to try to move, and sometimes your turning match with the time that your partner is driving and kind of hurt. So I think like if I have to pick one injury that's common, it would be the ribs injury.
Well, that's something that happens just because the body's getting
used to it.
Yes,
your body's getting used to it. Exactly.
So because, for example, the thing that's very common for me that happened to me when I started is like the foot here on the side, so my toe here, the fingers a little bit, but just
You
adjusting
see,
because of the
everybody's
ribs.
different.
Yeah, and then the ribs adjusting, but it didn't happen like it broke or anything like that. It's just a little discomfort, and then your body gets used to it, and you get
Yeah.
stronger because of it.
Yeah,
Or
it's-
not. Like what I mentioned about the those three is like long term jiu-jitsu.
yeah,
You know what
those
I mean?
are more chronic.
Like long term jiu-jitsu is like shoulder, neck, and
Knees,
back. Knee.
back, shoulder, and neck. Neck, I think, is number one. Neck, and then back, knees, shoulders. I think that would be like the sequence of what I heard most. And
And then what do you think it would be like a nice feeling? Of course, you know already the solution to that one
Yeah.
because you saw it for yourself. Because the fingers, the toes here, the rib is gonna happen, and then you're gonna get used to it, and you're gonna get
yeah,
better.
Matt Burns,
Yeah.
you know, like your
It's little
head
things.
here sometimes gonna get a little scratch up
Little
your
adjustments.
skin. You know, things that's after a couple of months not gonna happen anymore. Your body
But
gonna get used to
But
it.
the back and the back and the
Back
neck
and
is something
neck,
that you can work on. What do you do?
No, I don't want to talk about that foundation training. You guys see me talking about foundation training all the time. I think that's a different topic. You know, I'm very fortunate to also know about foundation training and spread the incredible benefits that foundation training brings to you. I share this with all my students, and I think that prevents a lot of injuries. But even you can be a master in foundation training. If you train in jiu-jitsu in an environment where there is no control, foundation training will not help you. Okay,
You should
it will
keep
not
doing
help
those
will not
movements.
help you. We got maybe extend you longer, but we will not avoid like knee injuries and hips and all kinds of injuries that help in jiu-jitsu. Finger, you know, like breaking grip, like they do, like breaking those grip, like they don't want them to grip on you. You know,
You always
it's,
gonna have,
you know, your fingers messed up and you get trapped everywhere.
So like in the first year in the sports side, it was a lot of like those injuries, right?
Lots
Because
of.
yeah, they're training like
It's
hard.
very common, guys. Every jiu-jitsu gym is full of injuries. You know, we are so. Oh my God, this is the number one happiness of my life is to have a gym that runs in a very low rate of injuries.
No, but if you have
Very
that,
low.
but if you have that type of gym, something like foundation training will actually prolong it even more
Mm-hmm.
because you still have the habits. Because you just at the end you crunch even more.
Yeah.
You do this already in your life, so what foundation training does to even simplify even more is like 5 to 10 minutes a day of foundation
5
training.
to 10 minutes a
It's for
day.
you to prolong the things that you do that you love.
And eventually you're going
Just
to
that.
become foundation training, you're going to move foundation training, you're going to think foundation training, and that's when you're going to rescue your body mechanics on how you should move, drive your car, prepare some food in the sink, brush your teeth. Foundation training is the only thing that I can recommend that you walk with it all the time. You have it, it's you, it's like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, you have it with you. That's very different than chiropractors, doctors, you know. You go to them, they're going to help you, they're going to tell you what to do, but once you walk out of the building, the doctor is going to stay behind there.
It's gonna be there with you anymore.
It's not going to be with you anymore. This morning I had a class, and all my private classes, I put a little bit of foundation training. And then my student said like, hey, can I show you a video of this, what my chiropractor is doing with me? And the chiropractor was putting a stick on the back and make the back straight.
Yeah.
And very nice. The back was straight with the stick there. But then when you take the stick out and you say like, hey, thank you, bye-bye, that stick's gone. You know, it's not going to be there. The chiropractor not going to walk with you the whole day and correct your posture. Foundation training do that. And do in a way that can transform your life like gigantically. Can really turn in a person that live with pain already and think that pain is part of their life in somebody very, very strong in a way. When I say strong, it's not like lifting, bench pressing a lot of weight. It's strong on the movement. It's strong in playing with your kids. It's strong being in a position when you're demonstrating a guillotine in the jiu-jitsu class and your partner grab you on the guillotine and you can stay here for minutes without being discomfort at all. My partner is demonstrating a guillotine on my neck here and I'm fine here for 1 minute. He can talk much different than if I'm here with my back and I'm kind of holding my knees here. Something that I see all the time, like they have to brace here to be comfortable in this position. When you learn foundation training, you can stay here for a minute, 2, and you're going to feel like your body is functioning different and put you in a very strong position in your life. And hey, we are here, and our mission is in life is to share jiu-jitsu, foundation training, and we talk a lot about ice therapies and sauna. I have a sauna right here in my garage. Everything that's out there that can somehow improve our lives to become better, we are on it. That's what we dedicate our lives for, and we want to share that with you guys. You guys, at the end of the day, you guys pay us for us to share everything what we believe is good for a balanced life with you guys.
Well, some of them pay. If you guys are watching, you don't pay. Like that's why we give you the secrets, so that way we can share with you too. But I mean, lesson training for me, like the way to simplify that, tell people, bro, is literally something that you do is how you move to do other movements that you love very much. So if you play soccer, if you play football, if you play tennis, if you do jiu-jitsu, how can you do foundation training for 5 to 10 minutes to do the things that you love very much? So to keep going for a longer time.
Yeah.
And that's something that just relates beautifully, and I hope they can see it so that way they can put it in their market because it's always bigger.
One day I was in a huge jiu-jitsu event, and the person that was teaching the events, he said like, if you are over 60, raise your arm. There's maybe like 2 arms. If you're over 50, raise your arm, maybe like 10. If you're over 40, raise your arm, like 25 people, 30 people raise their arm. Now if you're 20, raise your arm. Like the whole seminar was 20-ish years old. And then the person taught us that it's very uneven, the age rate that stay in the mats training for a long term. And I was doing it wrong for many years. I was lucky enough to see that there is a better way to do jiu-jitsu. There's a better way to live life without pain. It really worked for me in a way that's made me a very happy person, what I have in life and what I understand life for. I'm very satisfied with everything what I have with the friends, sharing everything about jiu-jitsu with Rafael. That's my partner. That's a very loyal person to me. That's become the number one hand that's pushing this dream ahead. I think a little bit of everything what we're talking about today is what's giving me this balance in life and make me navigate through my demons every day. We all have those, and we want to control those, and we have a little bit to offer. It may not work for everybody, but so far we have seen a lot of climbing up. There's very few that's maybe stay stable, didn't go up, but like maybe none that's start to practice a little bit what we do and report to us that it have not improved their lives in any way, and that's the reason they don't want to do it anymore. Mostly they stop for work, traveling, moving somewhere, but very few like because of injuries and because of what we offer is not improving their lives in any way, so they don't see value. I don't think like something hard to probably happen. And it's hard to report, to come to us and say, look, I'm not coming to anymore because I don't like you guys.
It will be because maybe they want to compete, stuff like that. That's very rare.
It's also a hard topic. I accept that I may have failed with some people, and
that's part of the
use those mistakes to improve every day. We just had a big discussion. All the employees of the gym, everybody that works there, that's over 10 people now that's connected, making this jiu-jitsu sanctuary flow and deliver the best product that we can right now. We're going to get much better. We know about it. But right now we are working all together. And we had a good feedback from students that thought something was not the way that they expected. And you had a big meeting, we discussed over it, and we saw that as something like positive, a good opportunity, for us to learn from something that we couldn't see, and because of that student that come to us and say like, hey, look, I don't like white pants. Now he knows that I don't like white pants, so he can wear blue pants or whatever. So we are always open for there is no bad critics, okay? Bring it up, and we're gonna be always open to discuss that with you guys, and meet personally or on a phone call or in an email. We are very reachable. If you guys have any idea or any thing that you see that we cannot see, right?
So awesome, guys. I'm not that reachable, but it's okay. We talk about that later. So
Awesome,
look,
guys.
let's do the positive again. We're gonna do it every once a month, and that's something that we want to keep going. We want to keep actually going. Q&A is one of my favorite parts, but the stories is something that me and Jackson, he tells me every story like every single week. That's something that is nice to be able to share. The story of Jiu-Jitsu is amazing, and
We can put the link together for the Hero telling that same story. Okay, I just copy Hero's story a little bit, but we put the link together so you guys can listen for the storyteller himself.
So awesome, guys. So be able to watch this a little bit, and we're gonna break it down a little bit as well if you want to watch one thing at a time. And then we're gonna do it next month. I think it's gonna be 2 to 3 weeks. That's gonna be the other UFC. So every single UFC that's once a month, we're gonna do the breakdowns and then keep going after that. Okay,
And
guys?
remember, if you're not standing up in base,
You're losing.
you're losing.